We're going to begin by finding ideal posture. So feet are about hip-width apart. Draw your belly in and up. Place your hands on your hips and push your hips down so that your rib cage lifts up and away from the pelvis. Let it go, but keep this still, lots of space between these bones here. Broaden your back, and then just bring your shoulders back. Retract your head. That means put your head back on top of your spine. Chin is parallel to the earth. Touch your hip points and make sure they're even. So one's not out in front of the other. Pull the one back. We're going to use this throughout this practice. Inhale. Exhale with a ha sound. And feel your waistline cinch up from the back to the front and the belly pulls down flat. Now you're going to move in this ideal posture. Inhale. Exhale, you're just going to hinge forward, round forward, using the abdominal wall. Low body stays in mountain pose or ideal posture. Exhale to the side. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, rotate left. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, forward bend. Keep the ribs lifting away from the pelvis. Inhale back up. Exhale right. Just a clean side bend. Inhale up. Exhale, rotate right. You're rotating as if you're rotating around a pole that's going right through the center of your body and out through the top of your head. Half moon, right arm goes up to the sky, grab a hold of your wrist. Exhale as you lean. Let your hips lift. Pretend you're being sandwiched between two walls of glass. So you're not rotating or twisting. It's a very clean side bend. Come back up, other side. And if you feel like collapsing through here, lift the ribs up and away from your pelvis. Come up. Bring your hands down to your hips. You're going to go back. Lifting through the heart. And back. Folding forward. Drop your head. Interlace at the base of your skull. Lift your tail up towards the sky and just let the weight of your arms traction your neck. Just everything goes soft. Let go of your neck, let go of your arms. Higher, so you can traction. You might do move in traction. Pull the belly up. We're going to use the ujjayi breath throughout this practice. It's the ha sound, but drop your hands down, walk back to a plank, and hold your plank. You can be on your knees if you want to. If you are, be in a straight line from your knees to the top of your head. Bend your elbows ever so slightly. Press into your fingers, especially the index finger. The eye of the elbow points in the direction of your thumb. Knees come down, lounge lizard on your elbow. Stack ankles, hips, shoulders, Turn your arm out 45 degrees, and then just let your rib cage sink and hang. Drop your head as well. If this is not a challenge to you, come up to your wrist. Or you can walk the hand out anywhere along there. And if your wrist hurts, be on a fist. Let go of the whole lower torso and just let it hang and sink towards the arm. Close your eyes. As you inhale, feel the ribs move closer to the arm. And on the exhale, the belly pulls in towards your spine. And then your top ribs are collapsing a little. Breathe into those. Get them to move. Roll onto your stomach for a breathing low cobra. Hands 12 inches out in front of your shoulders, elbows in, so your arms look like railroad tracks. You must ground the low body first by anchoring the ground and pulling the belly button up away from the ground. Spread fingers and toes wide. Inhale as you rise, elbows lift. Exhale down. Inhale, move your ribs forward. Your hands are pressing down and pulling towards your feet so that you're pulling on your hands, and that pulls the ribs forward away from the... And as you exhale, you're reaching the low ribs away from the pelvis, the mid ribs away from the low ribs, and the upper ribs away from the mid ribs. Inhale, belly up and rise. Exhale, rib cage reaching forward, hands pulling back. Belly up, pubic bone down, then come up. Lounge lizard, other side. You can be on the elbow at a 45-degree turnout or on your wrist. Stack ankles, hips. Pretend you're on a tightrope. Drop your head. Sag through the rib cage. Use the ujjayi. Release. Roll all the way over onto your back. For some abdominal work, you're going to cross your right leg over your left. Right arm up, left arm out. Inhale. Exhale, chin towards your Adam's apple and peel up. You're using your abs to get you up. Stack the hips. Inhale. Exhale, let the low body go down. And then roll down. Use the abdominal wall. Switch. Left arm up. Left leg over. Use the ha or the ujjayi. Do the same thing. So the low body does no work at all. It's limp. This all comes from the upper body or the abs. This teaches the abdominal wall how to sequence properly. This is the way you learn to crawl or walk in your crib. So take your time rolling down through it, because it's firing your abdominals in the proper sequence. the abdominal, stabilize your spine. Pull, 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 pull. Low body limp. And then belly towards your spine. And then pull, 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 pull. Reach, reach, reach. Release. Bend your right knee. Lift your left leg 1/2 inch off the floor. Pretend your leg's in super glue, and you're lifting it slightly. Just barely off the ground. Weight your right hip. You want the pelvis level. And you want to be in neutral spine as well. So that means if you put your fingertips at the pubic bone and the heel of your hand at your hip points, when the hand is level, then that's neutral pelvis for you. There's probably a space in your low back. That's great. You might even walk your ribs away from your pelvis just to lengthen your spine, exhaling with the ujjayi. Change. Lay the leg down. Lift it, pull it out of the super glue. This teaches the abs how to work with the walking muscles and standing muscles. Close the front low ribs. So the front low ribs knit together and down as if you're putting them into your hip pockets. Shoulders are reaching towards the mat. Low ribs are trying to touch the mat, keeping the neutral pelvis. Lengthen the back of your neck. Press down 50% with your head. Level the pressure on your pelvis. You want equal pressure on the left side and the right side. Release into a bridge. Touch your heels and lift. Let your arms go. Navel towards the spine, and as a result, the tail lifts up towards the sky, creating space in the lumbar. Your feet are pressing forward. Lift your head, turn your head to the left, put your ear down, and then press with your jawline, press down towards the mat, about 50% pressure. So if you press down as hard as you can, that's 100%. I want 50. Try to level out the rib cage, level out the pelvis, make sure the hip points are pointing straight up, and both of the sides of the ribs are pointing straight up. They're not twisting. Lift your head, put your right ear down with the jawline and the ear 50% towards the floor. Lift your toes to make sure you're not gripping. And then rest them gently on the mat. As you're pressing down, you're strengthening your neck. Lift your head, come back, and lower down. Roll over. Forehead. Yeah. Forehead. Spread your toes and fingers. Wall in front of you and your back wall. Medium cobra. Hands 6 inches out in front. Elbows in. Belly up, pubic bone down to ground. Fingers, toes wide. Inhale, rise. Elbows lift. Chin scrapes the Adam's apple, and then it unfurls at the top. Exhale, lower down, reach ribs forward. Inhale, rise. Sit the pelvis, then come up. Chin moves along the Adam's apple, then looks up slightly. That puts the curve at the bottom of the neck where it belongs. Make sure that you're using equal sides of the back to come up. So feel it along here. Are you just using the left side? Let it soften and engage the right side a little bit deeper so that they're equal. We're trying to bring balance to the spine. Moving into an up dog, bring your hands under your shoulders. Curl your toes under. Lift. Flatten the tops of your feet. Elbows in. Breathe like you mean it. Elbows in and bent. Downward dog. Curl the toes under. It's an upside down V shape. Walk your feet up some. Bend your knees. Get your spine long. Bend your elbows slightly and bring them together. Then work on straightening the knees. Big deep breaths into the ribs. Watch the ribs move side to side. Belly pulls in and up. Bring your right foot up between your hands. Spin the back foot down about 45 degrees. Right hand comes to the inside of the leg. Open up. Bring your hand to your shoulder and then send it overhead. Drop the left arm down. Reach through and clasp it if you can. You want to be on the thigh, not at the glute. Retract your head and then look up. Lower your hips a little more. Lift the back arch up. To do that, you press into the outer ridge of your back foot. Lift your toes, make sure you're not gripping, rest them. Release, shifting into a horse stance. You're just going to turn your back foot out, bend, press into the hips or into the thigh bones. Press and try to straighten the elbows, and that'll get your spine really, really, really long. Sink. Eagle arms, back is broad, right elbow goes under left, backs of the hands go together, and then the palms. Drop your head, inhale, raise. Exhale, lower as your knees are direction of your second toe. No gripping toes. Straighten, turn the feet in. Hinge forward, interlace at the base of your skull. Relax your arms, head, lift your tail. Bend your right knee. Close your eyes. Allow the traction to go through the neck, through the upper back, through the low back. Tail lifts a little more so that the lumbar can join this traction. Switch legs. Come back to center. Roll up through your spine. Horse stance again. Straighten the elbows. Get the ribs away from the pelvis. Left elbow under right. Hands together. Inhale up. Exhale down. Try to get your rib cage directly above your pelvis. You're still practicing the ideal spine. From your hips to your ribs to the top of your head. Rise, turn the right heel up. Extended side angle. Pretend you're being sandwiched between two walls of glass, one on your front side and one on your back side. Retract your head and look up. Lift the toes and rest them gently. Move your ribs away from your hips again. Release. Bring your right foot to your left. Bend your knees, roll up through your spine. Circle your shoulders and your head. Come to a standing bow. First, you have to build ideal spine. Ideal posture. Right foot goes into the right hand. Hand must be on the arch side of the foot. You can hinge forward if you wish. Try to level your pelvis. Bring the foot through, switch hands. Left hand to the outer ridge. Bring the foot forward and add rotation. Release, other side. Knees together. Move the knee back until you feel a stretch on the quad. Let the left shoulder roll back. Right shoulder comes down. No gripping with the toes. Bend your standing knees slightly. Unlock it. Hinge forward if you wish. Push the foot into the hand. Unlock your standing knee. Bring your left hip point forward to level and square the pelvis. Ujjayi breathing. Switch hands. And begin to rotate. Unlock standing knee. Float the toes. Lower your left hip slightly to level the pelvis and reach the ribs up and away. Release. Take a big inhale. Exhale, swan dive. Head dangles, tail up. Walk your feet back. Plank. Elbow. onto your back. Right knee over left. Drop your legs to the right and let your whole body go with it. Arm up. And then drop your arm towards the ground, opening up. Your left knee stays in full contact with the ground. And then you can float this left arm from a T to a Y to overhead, whatever feels good. You can try bending the elbow. Flip the wrist back. You can spread the fingers or make a blade. Just play around with it. Lengthen the back of your neck. Still using the ujjayi. As you exhale, the waistline cinches. As you inhale, the ribs broaden. The collarbones rise. Get fascinated with your breath. The ujjayi has the potential to change your rib placement. Using the abs to lift the legs, switch sides. Left knee on top. Drop the legs all. And then let it float down. Right knee keeps full contact to the floor. Lengthen the back of your neck. Float the arm. Watch your ribs. Any areas that are collapsing, breathe into those areas, getting those collapsed areas to expand. Release, lift, Shavasana. Let your feet flop open. Wiggle around, get equal pressure on your rib cage. So right side equals left. And just move around until it does. Make sure you have equal pressure on your hips. Right side equals left. Drop your jaw. Release around your eyes and your mouth. Throat softens. Release shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingertips. Drop your jaw again. Your tongue widens. Throat softens. Rib cage lets go. Belly lets go. Glutes spread like jelly. Thighs release. Kneecaps float. Feet surrender. Gather up all your thoughts about the future, everything, your 5-year plan, everything you're going to do. Set it on a cloud, let it float away. It'll come back later. You don't need it right now. Gather past, everything you did yesterday and the year before. Set it away. From the past does not exist. The future does not exist. The only real moment in time is this one. So just rest here. As thoughts float up, set them on a cloud, let them float away. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Take a big inhale, reach above your head and stretch. And as you exhale, roll to your right side. Slowly press up to a seated position that you like, or sit on a block if this is uncomfortable. Hands in front of the heart. Choose 3 blessings in your life and give thanks.